Dude, we're really getting a fucking Shanks movie, dude. Oh my god. Oh no, dude, no, dude. I am so fucking. We're getting a Shanks movie. Yo. We're getting a Shanks movie, dude. I've been smiling uncontrollably ever since Scotch linked it. Okay, let me try and put this all in perspective real quick. So, if you guys follow the One Piece Twitter account, dude, I'm so fucking happy right now. If you guys follow the One Piece Twitter account, they've been doing this little thing of tweeting. I think the Straw Hats, and like so like their names, pictures of the Straw Hats, and then like their names, like a particular letter in their name is being titled or sorry highlighted in red, and people were thinking that they were saying One Piece OOP films soon. They guessed that pretty early on. I don't know how they did it, but they did. So they guessed it early on, and yeah, now it's confirmed we're getting a One Piece film. But if you guys have been in the One Piece community for a while, you guys recognize some names, say like Redon. I'm trying to think who else, Sandman, and especially like if you've been around, say like older One Piece communities, like Arlong Park back in 2009, where you used to see like One Piece chapter discussions and stuff like that. There is a name from back that I'm pretty sure he was around back then because I remember seeing his name even when I was reading One Piece during like Impel Down in Marineford in high school, and that was Scotch. And Scotch is a pretty famous, I don't think he's like the most famous, but he's a pretty famous like One Piece fandom like person, like in terms of like leaking or like information and that sort of stuff. And I'm gonna put the tweet. I'm gonna put the tweet in the comments below for you guys to see. But he just announced the new film's name, and it was called One Piece Red. So I saw that, and like it didn't register. It didn't register in my head. I didn't bother to think about it. I just saw it. I was like, oh, One Piece Red. This sounds fucking fire. Now, granted, I wasn't really that impressed with Gold and Stampede. I liked Strong World and Z, but Gold and Stampede I wasn't really all that much about. So at first, like when I saw it, I was like, damn, this is a very cool fucking name because even some One Piece games have had like I think there's been a game called One Piece Burning Red, and I think it had like some sort of vampire villain over on the 3DS. So the word and the name Red has been used quite a bit in One Piece, right? But I just saw like the title and like I don't know, I was getting like good vibes from it. Then I went back and looked at the title and I saw the scars on the letter D, and that's when it hit me. This is a fucking Shanks movie, dude. I didn't realize it first, and then I saw the scars. Like I looked at it, I was like, Shanks. We're actually getting a fucking Shanks movie. And yes, this is real. Scotch is reliable, and TCB Scans, who was doing the fan translation, they retweeted it. This shit is so fucking real, dude. Oh my good dude. This is like we know nothing about Shanks, but ever since chapter 1, Shanks has easily been like one of my favorite characters, right? Now, and I'm just like thinking about like all the possibilities with this movie, and two have come up, right? One, this is going to be about Shanks's come up as an emperor, or two, this is going to be a canon movie, right? This is going to be a canon arc. This is going to be a canon movie that is going to be set after Wano, maybe. And if I had to choose which one is the most likely of the two, I'm going to go with the Shanks's past. I'm still so fucking happy. I can't even. My goodness. So let me let me try and frame it right. So like I saw the scars, and I immediately saw Shanks. I was like, damn, Shanks is in a movie, and it just gets me thinking like, what is this movie going to be about? And I'm pretty sure it's going to be about Shanks's past. And so those were the two ideas that popped in my head as soon as I realized this movie was about Shanks. Shanks has come up as an emperor, or the next arc after Wano. And actually, let's start with why I think this is not after Wano, necessarily speaking, right? So okay, so if you're caught up to One Piece, and now I can talk about it because one of my subs slash mutuals, he's caught up now. If you've been caught up with One Piece, you understand and realize that the saga that we're in One Piece right now is called the Emperor Saga. So if you guys have watched my Wano Theory video, I was saying that after whatever happens in this arc, Shanks is going to be the next person, or I don't want to call him a villain because he doesn't come across as like a villain, but he's going to be the next antagonist in the arc, right? He's going to be the main person that Luffy fights in the next arc. He's the next goal, the next target, if you will. And I was thinking about like how because Kid originally made an alliance to, or made a plan to go after him with Kid, with Apu and Hawkins, and because he lost his arm to him. I'm hearing something in the back. He lost his arm to him. I was thinking Kid is going to be a part of that, and a lot of these arcs really, like I was saying in my Wano Theory video, they're about the worst generation stamping themselves. So the worst generation's got to be included somehow too, right? So this whole arc, like I was thinking to myself, like if this is set after Wano, like this is what it's going to include, like all these things that I'm mentioning. But then it occurred to me, right? Then it occurred to me that every time, for the most part, the Straw Hats are, I mean, they're the main cast in the series, so like they're always going to be the main cast in any arc. They're going to be the main cast. They've been the main cast in every movie so far. Why would that change now, right? So that was one thing. So if it's going to be about Shanks, like I don't really know if they'd switch it up and just not have the Straw Hats in it. I mean, I'm sure they could do that. They could have like the Straw Hats be in it, just not be the main characters. Instead, have Shanks be the main character for this particular arc, right? So that's one thing, but I just don't know how likely that is. But the second thing that I realized, why I think that this is not the case, is because I just don't think Oda is the sort of author who would, I don't want to say sell out. I'm not going to say sell out. Sell out is not the right phrase that I'm trying to use and say over here. But I don't think Oda is the type of author who would, I don't even say resort to. He would do everything in his power to make sure the story that he wants to tell is told in the manga. Like anything and everything that he wanted to put in the manga, he would put in there, right? And it's not like Oda is like at an old enough age, like say like Toriyama or Takao Saito, rest in peace, or some of these older mangaka where he has to worry about like his health and age at the time. At least like in advanced years is what I'm talking about. I mean, of course, you always gotta worry about your health and lifestyle regardless of what age you are, but I'm talking about like, when you're older, when you're an old man or an old woman, like crunch time and work schedule, that sort of thing, getting 2 hours of sleep a day, that shit like will have a toll on your body. So because he doesn't have that problem, I don't think Oda would want to go and put like canon parts, not necessarily canon parts. He wouldn't want to take like an entire arc and make that a movie. I don't think he'd do that. So instead, he's gonna do that in the manga. And so those two reasons, right? Shanks being the main character and the Straw Hats not being the main characters, which I mean they still could be. I'm just guessing at this point. And what I was just saying about Oda and like how he like handles his story, that has me thinking that this is not set after Wano. This is not about Shanks being the next antagonist. This is not the next arc in One Piece. Is basically what I'm saying. And I think instead this is going to be about Shanks' past or his come up as an emperor. Maybe this is probably set after the Roger Pirates, like after they disbanded, after they reached Laugh Tale, or it could be during that too. Who knows? But I'm just so freaking hyped, dude. Like I couldn't believe that I didn't recognize it as when I first saw it. Like I saw the D and then I saw the scars. I was like, oh my god, it's a Shanks movie. So I really think it's about Shanks has come up as an emperor. And the other thing, and I was talking about this a couple months ago, and now I know Greg, One Piece. If you guys are in the One Piece fandom, you guys should know who Greg is. He's like, I think he was born in America. He's white. He went to Japan, and now he's like some columnist for One Piece. He's met Oda, talked with him, something like that. But he's kind of like I don't want to say, yeah, he's an official figurehead for the One Piece fandom, and there are things that he says that you can like pick up clues on and whatnot. And he was saying like how considering like what Oda's comments about like the story ending and all that, that there are things that we shouldn't expect to happen. And when he saw, I don't know, I don't remember when he made that tweet this year. Actually, he made that tweet this year. I'm pretty sure it was this year. I think he made it sometime like 5 months ago, like in June or something like that. And it got me thinking like about things that we may not get to see in the manga. And one of the things that immediately popped up in my head was the past duel between Shanks and Mihawk, right? Because in terms of like things that we have yet to see, that doesn't seem Shanks versus Mihawk. It doesn't seem as important to some of the more core story to more of the core story in One Piece, such as say like what the One Piece is or what the Void Century is and how what happened with rocks on God Valley. Those things seem to be more necessary in terms of revealing them to the reader rather than Shanks versus Mihawk and their duel. So I immediately thought of this, and then as soon as I realized this was a Shanks movie, and this was, this is going to be about in my opinion, it's going to be, or I'm guessing it's going to be about his come up as an emperor. I was immediately thinking that Shanks versus Mihawk is going to be in this film, and that's going to be a fucking incredible fight, dude. Could you just imagine a fight between, like, a full fledged fight? I'm not talking like Roger versus Whitebeard was sick, right? Roger versus Whitebeard was sick, but was that a long fight? Fuck no. Was that a long drawn out fight like Luffy versus Katakuri or Luffy versus Lucci or like what Whitebeard was doing at Marineford? No. And that is what I expect to see between Luffy or Shanks and Mihawk in this film. It could be about that. I expect to see that in this film if it's about his past, which I'm thinking it's going to be about his come up as an emperor, right? People are. I think I saw when I saw people like pick up on this on Twitter, like that we're getting a Shanks movie, or at least the name of the movie is called One Piece. The name of the movie is called Red. Excuse me. People were thinking like he may get to fight Blackbeard in the intermission, like what's going on right now with Wano, with Luffy and Law and Kid and the rest of the worst generation, and how Big Mom and Kaido are at Wano, what's basically going on in Wano. Like there may be some separate world event that's going on. I mean, there are separate world events going on now, right? Like with Kobe going after Hancock, and the warlords are basically dissolved, and they're now being hunted. So that's going on. What's going on with Weevil? He's a warlord. So there's stuff going on in the world of One Piece right now while things are happening in Wano. But one thing that could be happening is what Shanks is doing, and people are theorizing he might go after Blackbeard, which he very well could. I could see that, but I actually don't think that's happening. Like again, if you guys have watched my Wano theory video, you guys know why I think Shanks is going to be the next. Again, not the villain. He's not an evil. Well, he may or may not be evil. We'll see like what happens after his talk with the Gorosei. But I'm thinking like he's the next antagonist in the arc, right? But man, I'm just so fucking hyped right now, dude. I'm just like I fully expect to see Shanks versus Mihawk in this film if it's about his past, and I also if this is about his come up as an emperor. One of the questions I always had about One Piece was like the Yonko system, right? Like we knew that Whitebeard, Shanks, Kaido, and Big Mom were the first ones that we saw, but were there emperors before them, right? I mean, Luffy just became an emperor after the whole Cake Island, so it's not the Yonko anymore. It's the Goko. Yon means four in Japanese, Go means five in Japanese, so it's really the the Goko at this point. So, how many emperors were there in the past? Was it Yonko? Was it Goku? Was it Goko? I'm saying Goku. Was it Rokuko or Nanako? Which are Roku means six, Nana means seven. I think Hachi means eight, Q means nine, and then Ju means 10. So you just put ko at the end of, because ko means emperor or king, if you will, and you just put ko at the end of these numbers. So how many emperors were there? I don't think there was like 10 emperors or 8 emperors, but who knows? I'm just saying, like, if he's going to become an emperor, did he defeat someone to become an emperor, right? Or how did he become an emperor? So I think this is really about his come up as an emperor, and maybe that includes getting a road poneglyph. This also includes fighting who's who and getting the or Lucky Roo, and at the very least Lucky Roo fighting who's who and getting the Gomu Gomu no Mi. I mean who's who from Wano, because he was the one that was transporting Luffy's fruit. So yeah, man, I'm just very excited. Yeah, film Red, dude. Fuck it. And the last thing I want to talk about was I realized this a little later was the scars were on the D. Is this hinting that Shanks is a D? And many people have theorized that he is. I'm actually of the opinion that he's not. I don't think he's a D. I don't think he's a D. I don't think he's a D. And I I was going to make I am still going to make a Shanks theory video, but the fact that we're getting a Shanks film now just means I have to get on my shit and put out this shit, my own Shanks theory video before, at least before Wano ends. That's what I wanted to do, but at the very least I want to do this before the film comes out next year. So in the tweet, which again I'll post in the link below, you guys can check it out. Scotch is saying this is coming out August 6th, 2022. That's fucking incredible. Like Otis messages there. So, and I was always unsure whether Wano is going to end next year or not, because I still feel like we have things to go through. I mean, every you guys probably watched my recent video of whether Big Mom and Kaido should lose in Wano. Some of the problems that I had if it happens, ways that I would be okay with it if it does happen, But then you still got things like, the Rocks flashback, Kaido's flashback, right? Then you still have some fights to resolve. Then what's going to happen with Hiyori and Orochi, as we just saw in the, or sorry, what's going to happen with Hiyori, right? What's going to happen with Orochi? What's going to happen with some of we haven't been to the mountain in Wano yet, right? Where's Kaido's road poneglyph? Like, there's still so many questions that, I mean, who knows, like, whether we can actually this arc will end next year, right? So there's that's up in the air. So actually, that's another reason why I don't think that this can be set after Wano, because I just, my opinion is that I'm just very dubious on whether Wano is ending next year or not. We're still in Act 3 at that too, so who knows what's gonna happen with that, right? But yeah, but anyway, the point I was trying to get was, like, I'm still gonna put out a Shanks theory video, but in that I was talking about whether Shanks is a D or not, and my opinion is that he's not a D. His behavior just doesn't come across as D behavior, or D. Yeah, he doesn't come across as a D to me, because for him to just stroll into Marijoa and just talk with the world, the Gorosei, the Five Elder Stars, the way that he did, that doesn't strike me as D behavior. Ds are always resentful of the world nobles, whether it's Luffy or Garp or whoever, Dragon, even Zebek. What he did at God Valley. So what Corazon said, how Dofi treats the D's. So I don't think that Shanks is a D at all. I mean, he could be. I mean, that would certainly be a plot twist. But I don't think he is. But I noticed that the scars are on the D. So is that hinting that he is a D? That he has a D in his name? I mean, who knows, right? Anyway, yeah, man. I'm just so fucking hyped, dude. A fucking Shanks film, like, that just made my whole night, dude. Like, I'm just so happy right now. And yeah, I mean, the other thing that gives us more credence is the fact that you realize that the letters, like, in the one when they were highlighting the letters in the Straw Hat Crew's names, they were all colored red. So that's like another hint that, like, this, like, I'm believing this shit is basically what I'm saying. Like, I trust Scotch, and TCB scans retweeted. It's basically real. Oh my god, dude. We're actually getting a fucking Shanks film, dude. I am so fucking hyped and happy, and it sucks that we gotta wait like 9 months to see this, but oh man. And I'm pretty sure Oda's writing it too. So we're getting a Shanks film. Anyway, that's it for the video. I have come to stop this war. Could you imagine a reaction by fucking Uzumaki Kande? Oh my god. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna end this tweet. Be sure to check out the tweet in the comments below. Thanks, and have a great day. Shanks! Shanks!